Alright, so I'm going to start off by reading the book of Hosea. I'm going to be reading Hosea 2. I'm still very new to this TikTok, everyone, so I'm not so used to this TikTok. Alright, so read the Bible with me. I'm going to be reading Hosea 2. From morning I have been trying to get the Bible to get it on the screen, but to no avail. So I'm a bit sad because I like when you're able to see and follow as I read. So let's begin. Hosea 2, chapter 2. Say ye unto your brethren, Ami, and to your sisters. Let me see how many. It's 23 verses. So I'm just going to read it and then I'm going to let you know what I learned. So it says, say ye unto your brethren, Ami, and to your sisters, Ruhama. Plead with your mother. Plead, for she is not my wife, neither am I her husband. Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight, and her adulteries from between her breasts. Lest I strip her naked and set her as in the day that she was born, and make her as a wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and lay her with thirst. And slay her with thirst. And I will not have mercy upon her children, for they be the children of whoredoms. For their mother had played the harlot, she that conceived them had done shamefully. For she said, I will go after my lovers, and give me bread and my water, my wool and my flax, and mine oil and my drink. Therefore, behold, I will hedge up the way with thorns, and make a wall, that she shall not find her path. And she shall follow after her lovers, but she shall not overtake them. And she shall seek them, but shall not find them. Then shall she say, I will go and return to my husband, for then was it better with me than now. For she did not know that I gave her corn and wine and oil, and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal. Therefore will I return, and take away my corn in the time thereof, and my wine in the seasons thereof, and will recover my wool and my flax, given to cover her nakedness. And now I discover her lewdness in the sight of her lovers, and none shall deliver her out of mine hand. I will also cause all her mirth to cease, her feast days, her new moons, her Sabbaths, and all her solemn feasts. I will destroy her vines and her fig trees, whereof she had said, These are my rewards that my lovers have given me, and I will make them a forest, and the beasts of the field shall eat them. And I will visit upon her the days of Baalim, wherein she burned incense to them, and she decked herself with earrings and her jewels, and she went after her lovers, and forgot me, saith the Lord. Therefore, behold, I will allure her, and bring her into the wilderness, and speak comfortable unto her. And I will give her her vineyards from thence, and the valley of Achor for a door of hope. And she shall sing there as the days of her youth, as in the day when she came up out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be at that day, saith the Lord, that thou shalt call me, this looks like Aishi, and shall call me no more Baali, or Bali. For I will take away the names of Baalim out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. And in that day will I make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, and the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely. And I will betroth thee unto me forever. Yea, I will betroth thee unto me in the righteousness and in judgment, and in loving kindness and in mercies. I will even betroth thee unto me in faithfulness, and thou shalt know the Lord. And it shall come to pass in the day, I will hear, saith the Lord, I will hear the heavens, and they shall hear the earth. And the earth shall hear the corn, the wine, and the oil, and they shall hear Jezreel. And I will sow her unto me in the earth, and I will have mercy upon her that had not obtained mercy. And I will say to them which were not my people, Thou art my people. And they shall say, Thou art my God. Alright, so pretty much after reading all these verses, what I'm getting from all of this is basically God wanting the Israelites, the children of Israelites that turn away and they were serving other gods. He now wants them to serve him. And a lot of times he would use different analogies. He would refer to himself as being a father, and we are his children. And another time there'd be a spin on it, where instead of, because we're humans, and so he has to speak to us on a human level to connect what he's saying to us. And so he wanted now to talk about the children of Israel, how they they turned away from them. So he used the analogy as in husband and wife. So that's what we're seeing here. That's what we see at the beginning when he's talking about husband and wife. And I wish I could have it up on the screen so we can discuss about it. But whenever I learn to do that, I'm going to try and get that done. Let's continue. So I just wanted to talk about what I learned. So God used the analogy husband and wife. So husbands, they're supposed to provide for the wives. And usually a lot of times, the wives, we like, sweets. We like to be provided for. We like to receive things, whether it be gold, diamonds, treasures, things to make us feel womanly, make us feel appreciated. And not only sweets, or not only material stuff, but basic needs, like the husbands in the past provided food. The husband in the past provided housing, shelter. And in the analogy here, God is saying that he provide flax. Flax, that's what they use. They spin the flax and they make clothing to cover their nakedness. And wool, he provides the corn. So he was being that husband. He was providing that for, because he's using the analogy husband and wife. So he was providing to the Israelites as basically his bride, his wife. And many times when I'm looking for the part where it talks about her lovers. Yes, the part where she says, where it says here in verse 5, Hosea chapter 2 verse 5, for their mother had played the harlot, she had conceived them, had done shamefully, for she said, I will go after my lovers that give me bread, that give me water, wool and flax and oil. You understand? We're not knowing that, we all know that God is the one who created the earth, and he is the one that provides all of those things. So, and throughout my entire life of being a Christian, I walked out of the church. Throughout my entire life of being a Christian, God usually don't throw everything when you're blooming and growing, just like babes. They drink milk before they can eat solid food. So God usually doesn't throw down a lot of things down our throat. He allows us to, grow, gradually. When we keep growing, we keep learning, and we learn from our mistakes. And so that's the type of God he is. He's so very loving and caring and forgiving and merciful. So he will allow us to, grow. And when we're doing our wrongs, just like, any parent will scold you and correct you, that's when sometimes God steps in. So here where it says here, I will return and take away my corn in verse 9, and my wine in the season, and will recover my wool and my flax. There's another part that it mentions, so pretty much it's almost similar to the story of the Israelites when they were in the wilderness. So God did something for them. He delivered them from bondage, and then as soon as they were uncomfortable, it's almost like they saw God as a genie who would grant them their wishes. They wanted, it's almost like they wanted somebody to love them and feed them and take care of them without any, what would I say? They want to be cared for, and they want God to love them. But they don't want to show back any love in return. They want to follow the ways of Satan. They want to follow the devil. Live as they please, live as they like, and then God will just keep feeding them, clothing them, taking care of them, protecting them. And it doesn't work like that. Pretty much, it doesn't work like that. Life is not like that. The Almighty God, He made seasons for a reason. There's time for summer, there's time for winter, there's time for rain. There's a time under the sun for everything. Time for autumn. And so everything has its season. There's a time to laugh, a time to cry, and a time to grow up, a time to mature. And as I said, many of us, we start our Christian journey lacking knowledge, And the main thing I want to touch on today is that many of us will be led into temptation, just as Jesus was led into temptation in the wilderness. Many of us, because we know the story of Job, where Satan, he went to God, and God was so proud of Job that he mentioned, have you seen my servant Job, how he has been upright and righteous? And then Satan was like, yeah, but that's because you have an edge around him, you protect him, you shield him, and that's the reason why he's faithful to you. And even when Job was tested, he did not fold. He did not he did not surrender, I should say, to the wiles and the devices of the devil. I know for our fact that I would have died. I would have died already, because as soon as any pressure comes my way, I get frustrated and I want to give up. Another thing too is that what I've been struggling with is that when, let's say that I pray for a job and I get the job, decent paying job, and then when I'm now in this job, I start getting persecuted, then I start complaining like the Israelites in the wilderness, like, God, why did you give me this job if I was going to suffer so much? Not showing any type of appreciation. So sometimes God give us blessings, and we might be tempted in the case where some of that blessing comes with trials. And many of us, as soon as the trial come, we basically fail. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So that's what I'm working on. I'm trying to work on being calm in the midst of the storm. When when the storm is raging and the boat is about to turn over, or maybe you're lost at sea and you feel like just giving up. The Bible basically talks about inquiring of the Lord, seeking the Lord. So I'm trying to do that more. I'm trying to seek the Lord first, especially first. So the main thing I learned from this is that sometimes God will strip us bare because we don't appreciate the little that we have. The amount that we have, the amount of good that we have, we don't appreciate it. So, God will just strip us bare. And many of us, like women, like the analogy with women, the woman turning to adultery and whoredom and being enticed by other lovers. And I was like, why would God use this analogy? And I'm like, basically it's basically it's showing how humans are. We see glitter and we chase after those things. So that's how some of us. So a woman would be like that, because we would especially if you have needs and you want things and you can't wait. You can't wait, so you're so hasty. A lot of us as women, this analogy isn't wrong. You know, we maybe we live with our husband and we live in a small cottage, and then somebody's passing by who says he has a mansion, and then we go chasing down that person because they have a mansion. We can't wait. You know, we want to hurry, you know, speed up the process, and, you know, have many lovers providing us with different types of things. So the analogy is, as I said, is to connect with humans. So a lot of times you would see God make reference to the children of Israelites as wives, and he's the husband. Yeah, so I learned, don't be hasty to gain things. Stay calm in the midst of the storm. Don't be shocked when God decides to strip you bare. Strip you down bare, strip you clean, because you decide that you want to go chasing after things. Don't be shocked. And, you know, like Eve was, she's a perfect example. She was so eager. She didn't think about the pros and the cons. She was so eager to, oh, what is this wisdom? I want to get this knowledge. And she didn't say, okay, but why would God lie to me? Or, you know what, let me go talk to Adam. Or, you know what, let me think about it. Or, you know, as much as how it's enticing, you know, gaining more, becoming like God, let me think. Let me, because in the evening, sometime God will come and walk in the garden. Let me speak to my husband so that he can go and, before I make my choice, let me speak to my husband so he can go to God and ask God what really would happen if they make the choice to eat the fruit. No negotiation, not going back to the source. She was so hasty. So many of us were so enticed and so hasty. So, you know, she was so eager, didn't think before she acted. So those are a few of the lessons. I mean, it's a mouthful of verses. There are different types of lessons to take from it. There are different verses to take from it. Not verses, different lessons to take from it, from each verse. That's pretty much how the Bible is. You might not need it right now. When you read this, you don't understand it. Later on, then, it's like a food to the spiritual side of us. Because sometimes when I'm drained or stressed, or I've been through depression, I've gotten over in terms of depression. I'm not easily depressed. If I'm depressed, it must be because maybe I'm dying from a cancer or disease or something. But I'm not easily depressed by challenges when they come my way. I'm not easily depressed. But there are times when you're feeling this spirit of, just like procrastination, you're feeling this spirit of weariness and tiredness. Yeah, sometimes that happens. And I want to tell you that every time when I read the Bible, it uplifts my spirit. So it's a food that we need. The scriptures are food that we need. We need the scriptures and we need the word. As I said, I will try and find out how to get the scriptures on the screen so we can go through them, you know, one by one, the verses. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do. But a lot of people out there are struggling and they're suffering, they're going through depression, whether it's you know, battle in the court, family court, divorce. People are struggling with loneliness, they're so unhappy. People are struggling with self-worth, you know, they feel unworthy, you know, unloving. And these are some of the reasons why people go chasing after drugs and staying in toxic relationship just to feel you know, just to feel love, just to feel a little bit of love. Sometimes people, you know, they want to commit suicide. And I'm seeing that many persons are depressed, many persons are hurt, confused, tired of living. So I want to take the opportunity to get bigger and better at sharing from the Bible, sharing how, you know, my journey, my path, how it really helped me. And if it helped me, it can help somebody else. So that's what I want to do. All right. As I said, I see somebody. Coco says hi. Hi, Coco. I don't fully understand this live thing. Trying to get better at it. And I will. Because I really want to help people out there. Alright, so that was my little 2-piece. I'm going to end the live now. I would sit and chit chat and talk, but I have something to do, and on top of that, I prefer when we have something on the screen to you know, to go deeper. So I just wanted to, you know, read the book of Hosea chapter 2 and share that with you guys. Alright, so thanks for joining my live. Have a good day.